timing never feels right. It's like we're on different timelines constantly. Both people have to readjust. And again, first internally. So for me, this aspect is pointing to major inner child healing, because we will both feel very insecure about deserving the other person's love. We are going to take them out, we are going here, we're spending the money there, we're trying in the external. And at some point we'll realize it's not getting us anywhere. Because we'll have to address our insecurity, our inner insecurity and worthiness issues first. Good morning, my lovelies. Welcome back. So in today's video, we are talking about a very, very interesting aspect that is often overlooked in composite charts. Why? Well, because it usually is considered a minor aspect. But trust me, there's nothing minor about this aspect. We are talking, as you already know because you clicked on the title, we are talking about the quincunx between Venus and Saturn in composite. Now, what do we get when we have this lovely little aspect? Well, we get constant need for readjustment. The quincunx is known to be an aspect of adjustment. We'll have to adjust first internally and then externally. Usually it doesn't work the other way around, but let's get into it. Now, what is Venus? We know Venus is the feminine principle. Venus is what we love, how we want to be loved, how we show our love, how we feel loved. It is also the lightness of being. It is beingness in itself. And Saturn represents quite literally the opposite. Saturn represents structure. Saturn represents harshness, the harshness, quote unquote, of life. Saturn also represents removal, reducing. Like Saturn is not about fluff. Venus is all about fluff. Saturn doesn't need fluff. Saturn just wants the cold hard truth. Saturn is the boundaries. For me, Saturn is one of the most important players in any relationship. I always, when I look at a relationship chart, when I look at relationships and when I analyze relationships through astrology, I always look at the natal chart first. What does Saturn say in the natal chart? Then I look at the synastry. How do these two Saturns interact with each other? Then obviously I look at the composite and the Davidson chart to see how that relationship is unfolding through the Saturn influence. Now, we are talking about a composite chart right now. We are talking about the Saturn influence on the love, right? And there is adjustment needed. Both people have to readjust. And again, first internally. So for me, this aspect is pointing to major inner child healing, because we will both feel very insecure about deserving the other person's love. There's this insecurity, this constant insecurity. And I say constant, not every second, obviously, but it's like we are always feeling we're not enough for that person, we're not enough. And maybe the other shows that to us, but again, not in a conscious way, but however they behave in their life, what they do within their life, in their personal space, it makes us feel like, oh, we're not good enough for them. That is the first major issue here. And that's where the adjustment comes in, because first what we will do, we will try to do everything to make them love us, to make them want us, to make them want to be around us, to make it work. We will try to make it work, but the problem is the trying on the outside, right? We might cook the best dinners every night. We are going to take them out. We are going here. We're spending the money there. We're trying in the external. And at some point we'll realize it's not getting us anywhere. Because we'll have to address our insecurity, our inner insecurity and worthiness issues first. Again, both people have to do that. This is not a one-sided thing. Absolutely not. Both people come with insecurities and both people will feel the insecurities strongly. We also have a little issue, or a big one, being spontaneous. Because Saturn is not a spontaneous fella. However, Venus likes it. Let's go on a quick trip. Saturn is like, but we don't have the money. It's this constant like, but we can't, but no. And it's not like it's impossible, right? Because, you can probably find a way to take a trip on the weekend. But it's this blocking, this immediate blocking is there. Then you have to ask yourself internally, why am I blocking? What am I blocking? Why am I blocking myself? Why am I letting myself shrink? Why do I not feel worthy for that person? What does it remind me on? This is not an impossible aspect. It can, though, contribute to relationship separation. It can, 100%. If one or both partners, if you're not willing to work on your insecurities, this relationship will not work out. I mean, I can tell you that. You are required to work on those inner issues you're having in this relationship. And if you do, then this is an aspect that can take you very far. It can help you get very far because it helped you work on those insecurities. You also have to remember, though, there's always another layer, right? Throughout these relationships, you will always discover another layer because you will want to up-level the relationship. You will want to up-level within the relationship. Maybe you want a bigger house or a bigger this or a bigger that. And again, you're not feeling worthy. And then you'll feel the blocking again. And so the inner work continues. It will always continue. This aspect tells us, you can grow into this beautiful, amazing, thriving relationship if you continuously do the work. Some people say, too much for me, I'm out. I can't continuously work on this. I can't continually adjust. Maybe it's boring, but I want it stable. I don't want to work on anything. Well, then this is probably not the relationship for you because this is an aspect that requires work because everything Saturn touches requires work. And we can look at it from the perspective of, oh God, it's too much. Or we can look at it from the perspective of, yes, I can grow here. I've been planted somewhere where I can grow into all of myself, my fullness. So I have a separate blog post that is very structured, very detailed, so you can go and read this blog post. But it's an interesting aspect. It can be annoying at times. From personal experience, I can tell you that. It can feel very trying sometimes. You are like, what is this? We are always the wrong timing. The timing never feels right. It's like we are on different timelines constantly. But again, there is major growth in it. And are you willing to do the work? I'll see you in the next video.